What's up, Palo Verde? This is DJ Win in his house! I'm just kidding. This is Mr. Win again. I'm going to be showing you all how to download and set up Zoom today. Zoom is the app that you're going to be using to learn from your teachers and with your friends. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to click on Google Chrome. In the search bar up here, you're going to type in Zoom download. Then you're going to click on Download Center Zoom. Then click on Download. This will take you to the Chrome Web Store. From here, you're going to click on Add to Chrome, and then Add App. Now, when it's done downloading, you should see it down here in the bottom left. So if you look on the very bottom, there's a circle, and this is called a launcher. Click on the launcher, and then you should see Zoom right there. Now, I'm going to show you how to add the Zoom shortcut to your taskbar down here. So click on this up arrow right here, and then find Zoom, and then you can click on it and then drag it down here to this bar. So now you'll have it ready whenever you need it. Next thing you'll do, you'll open up Zoom, and then you're going to sign in, and then you're going to sign in with Google. Now from here, you're going to have to type in your username and your password, the same username and password you use to log on to your Chromebook. So I'm going to be using Patrick Star. Then you're going to click on Create Account. Now that you've signed in, there are a couple of settings that you want to play with before you start your first meeting. Click on the settings button up here in the upper right hand corner. Under video, you're going to deselect Enable Mirror Effect. Under audio, you're going to select Always Mute Microphone when joining a meeting, and you're going to select Automatically Adjust Microphone Volume. Under Accessibility, you're going to select Always Show Meeting Controls. Then you can hit the X button. Now you are ready to join your first meeting. There are two ways to join a meeting. There's a slower way and a faster way. The slower way is to use the meeting ID number that your teacher will give to you. It's a bunch of numbers that you'll type in here, and then a password you'll have to type in afterward. The faster and better way is to use the link that your teacher will also provide for you. I'm going to be providing the link for my students on Google Classroom, where most teachers will also provide their links. So I'm going to head over to Google Classroom, and right here, there's a meeting ID and a password for my Zoom meeting. I'm going to do the faster method by clicking on the link, and then I'm going to select Join with Video. When you see this screen, that means that you have to wait for your teacher to admit you into the meeting. Now, while we're waiting for our teacher to let us into the meeting, there's a neat little trick I want to show you to save some time. When you click on a link to join a Zoom meeting, it actually opens up a new tab right next to Google Classroom. I'm going to click on this tab, and then I'm going to bookmark this right here. In order to bookmark a website, which means to save it on your bookmarks bar right here, you're going to click on the star right here in the upper right hand corner. Go ahead and click on that. Before you select Done, you can rename it to something shorter, something more helpful, so that you don't clutter your bar up here. I'm just kidding. Now hopefully your teacher will have let you in by now.
One eternity later.
So now that your teacher has let you into the meeting, I want to show you some of the controls in Zoom. First, you can always unmute yourself by clicking on this button down here on the bottom left that says Unmute. You can use that to talk when you need to. You can also stop your video here by clicking on the Stop Video button, and you can also start it again. Next, if you press the Participants button right down here on the bottom in the middle of the screen, you'll have additional options that you can use during the meeting. For example, you can raise your hand by clicking on the raise hand button if you have a question. You can click on the yes or the no button to answer a question your teacher might be asking you. You can also ask your teacher to go slower or go faster. If you click on more, there are a couple of other reactions that you can also use during the meeting. Next, if you click on the chat button, you can start chatting with people. This is a great way to talk with your classmates while your teacher is speaking. This is a great way to have discussions with your classmates during Zoom meetings. Before I end this tutorial on Zoom, I do want to show you one other neat trick that I think some of you more advanced users might like. It's called resizing your windows so that you can multitask. Multitask means to do more than one thing at once. Right now, the Zoom window is taking up most of my screen. So what I can do is I can actually resize it. If you move your mouse cursor to any of the four corners of the Zoom window, your mouse will transform into this double arrow cursor, and you'll see a black border around it. Now if you click and drag, you can actually resize your Zoom window to be as small or as large as you want. What I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to resize it to be about half of the screen size right there. Now what that allows me to do is, it allows me to have another window on the right hand side so that I can use it while I'm learning with my teacher. So for example, let's say your teacher wants you to have a calculator open. Now in order to resize this Google Chrome window, this calculator window, in the upper right hand corner, in between the X and the little minus sign, there's this button right here. It looks like a rectangle overlapping a rectangle. Click on that button. What that does is it allows you to move your Google Chrome browser around. It unlocks it from the screen. So now that it's unlocked, I can do the same thing that I did with Zoom. I'm going to take my mouse cursor and I'm going to move it into one of the corners. And I'm going to click and then drag it and resize it. You can resize it however you want. Last year I had some students who had 4 different windows open at once. I don't know how they managed to see it on their tiny Chromebook screen, but they made it work. So you can have a calculator open on the side while you have Zoom on this side, and you can see your teacher, and you can have your chat open to talk with your classmates. You can also have things open like your language arts textbook right here, and anything else that your teacher might want you to have open at the same time. If you're ever experiencing any issues in Zoom, one recommendation I have is to close it out, click on the X button, leave the meeting, and then rejoin it by using the bookmark that you created. Now that concludes this tutorial on how to use Zoom. Before you leave the meeting, it's probably good manners to say goodbye to everyone. You can either say it in chat, or you can unmute yourself and say goodbye. Click on the Leave Meeting button. Click on Leave Meeting again to confirm it. And you're done. By the end of this school year, you guys are going to be so sick and tired of hearing the word Zoom. But until then, we'll see you all on Zoom.